Hello everyone. Here chapter 8 Trade in Agricultural Produce. Every day all of us consume rice, millets, pulses, vegetables, fruits, milk, sugar, tea, coffee, etc. Most of them are mainly produced by farmers in villages and they reach us in different ways. People get agricultural produce from street vendors, santas and small shops. In recent times farmers are selling their fruits and vegetables in Raitu Bazaar. We will see in this chapter all this. This is a Raitu Bazaar. Now first let's see selling vegetables on street. Let's see about Gauri. Gauri is a small vegetable vendor residing in Sirapuram village. She buys seasonable vegetables and she buys these vegetables from wholesale market and she spends 25 rupees and she goes to from house to house and sell these vegetables. On the whole day, she earns only 100 to 150 in a day, which is not sufficient to meet her family. Gauri keeps some of her income for the next day purchase because she has to buy the next day vegetables. If she borrows rupees 500 from a money lender, he will give her 450 and she has to pay back rupees 500 on the next day. So that's why they have to keep the money for the next day also, and they have to run their house also. Vendors like Gauri lead a very difficult life and are chronically in debt. Since they borrow from money lenders, generally banks do not lend money to these small traders. A considerable part of their earning goes towards paying interest or vadi. Vadi means the interest in Telugu. So weekly markets called as santas, and these vendors will sell their vegetables in these markets. The traders of santas produce goods from wholesale shops in towns and cities and reach out to a large sections of the people. And they are more than 25,000 peoples in santas and they are functioning in India. They function in both rural and urban areas. And these are the santas where they will put market on weekly basis. And Sunday Santa in Chotuppal. Let's see the Santa in Chotuppal. Chotuppal is a small town in Yadadri district. The Chotuppal Santa function on every Sunday. In this Santa, more than 200 traders sell vegetables, fruits, clothes, meat, fish, dry fish, handmade tools and ready-made footwears, cosmetics, ropes, equipments for farming and cattle rearing and many other things. Buffaloes, goats and sheep are also traded here. People from more than 40 surrounding villages comes to buy goods in Chotuppal Santa. So these are all the things they will sell in this Chotuppal Santa market. One more lady, that is Indra. She will sell dry chilli and she is 36 age and she is having two children, so one daughter and one son. She sells dry chillis in Santas market for many years. She belongs to Katangur village, which is about 50 kilometers from Chotuppal, and she studied up to 10th class. And Indra gets up early every day and after completing all her domestic chores, means all her household work, she starts for the day santas or village with the chilli bags. Indra along with other women get into a lorry to transport the chilli bags to the santa. She procures the dry chilli from a wholesale Hyderabad, Chotuppal, Narakatpalli, Atamakur, Mungadu, Katangur, Vijayawada, Khammam, Ahmedabad, Bolu, Nalgonda traders in Khammam over phone. The wholesalers comes to her village every Saturday to collect the money. She starts selling the dry chilies around 10 a.m. and closes at 7 p.m. And for 6 days in a week, she has to travel to different places from her village. She sells chilies in her village only on Saturday. She also pays the wholesalers on that day. Indra earns about 200 to 300 per day. There is no guarantee that she will get good quality chilies all the time. Since she purchases chilies by ordering over the phone, she sometimes gets low quality chili and incurs losses. She does this business. Indra borrowed rupees 30,000 from a self-help group, means SHG, in her village, of which she is a member. She pays back her loan in installments at the rate of 1200 per month. She feels that borrowing from the self-help group is far better than borrowing from money lenders, as they charge high rate of interest, that is rupees 3 per 100 per month. In the self-help group, she pays only 25 pice per 100 per month. So this is she feels this is a good scheme, government scheme. And Pavala Vaddi for low income group. There are separate santas where cattle, sheep and goats are sold. They are brought from neighboring village as well as far off places. Many farmers come here either to sell or buy cattle. They take the help of brokers by paying them commission. And since they do not have storage facilities, the vendors, the goods may perish and they may have to sell them at low prices than the cost prices. So this is also one more disadvantage to the vendors. And Raitu Bazaar in Telangana, most agricultural goods like grains and pulses are sold directly to the wholesale merchant. Small traders buy these goods from them to sell them to the consumers. However, there are a few markets in which the producers directly sell their goods to the consumers. Raitu Bazaar is one such market. And they interviewed Ram Gopal, a farmer in Raitu Bazaar. Excerpts from the interview are given below. Means here is this is a Raitu Bazaar. Here they will sell the vegetables, fruits and all other essential things. And this is amount decided by the committee on the where they will sell all these vegetables, fruits, everything they will get in a wholesale price. And these are the questions asked by the writer to the Ram Gopal. Let's see what are they. When did you start coming to this bazaar? So Ram Gopal says he has started coming to this bazaar in the year 2003 by neighbors. My neighbors means his neighbors have been coming here since from the year 2000. And can only farmers like you sell in Raitu Bazaar? The writer asks. Then he says initially government officers related to this bazaar came to our village. We were issued a photo identity card containing our name, address, produce, grain, extent of land, etc. Only a person with a valid photo identity is allowed to enter the Raitu Bazaar to sell his or her produce. Stalls in the bazaar are allocated to the sellers daily on the first come first serve basis, although it is meant only for farmers. I also found one or two millers and women's traders from self-help group putting up their own stalls, while millers procures paddy from us. Women SHG traders sell vegetables which are cultivated in our district. Then writer asks, do you pay any rent to sell your produce? He says no, but millers and SHG traders pay rent for their premises, means their premises where they are selling their produce. How did you start coming to Raitu Bazaar? He says earlier he used to take my produce to a wholesale market. Since I have no control on the price, I had to sell it at the price fixed by the wholesaler. Many times I had to sell vegetables at throwaways prices, not even covering the expenses I incurred. Means whatever the expenses he have put in growing those crops, he has to sell lower than those amount. Raitu Bazaar is a big relief for farmers like me. I found that farmers like me come here from 10 to 15 villages, but we don't have enough space to store our vegetables. How are price fixed for your produce? The writer asks. So he says the price for bazaar products is fixed daily in the morning by the officers in consultation with a committee of 3 members set up for the purpose. The principle is that the price should be around 25% more than the wholesale price and 25% less than the retail price. So and the next question here, the writer asks, do you think your customers are happy in the Raitu Bazaar? So he says yes, they get not only fruits and vegetables but also many other essential edible items like pulses, tamarind, dry chilies and edible oils in the bazaar. They get these at reasonable prices. I grow vegetables and when I see my customers eagerly bargaining and buying, I cannot express my happiness. I get good returns for my hard work and the customers get full value for their money. If we were literate, we could have checked on the internet the prices of goods in each bazaar and sold our goods there. Then he also asked, do you face any problem while using this bazaar? He says yes. Sometimes if I come late, it is difficult to get a good space to sell my vegetables. I am left with a place in a corner only. There is insufficient space for parking our vehicles and at times it is also risky. I do find people in the guise of farmers coming to sell vegetables in the bazaar. Also the farmers from distant places are not able to benefit from these markets. Now let's see what are commercial farming. In this type of farming, higher doses of modern inputs like HY, these are the seeds, hybrid seeds, chemical fertilizers and insecticides and pesticides are used in order to obtain higher productivity. The degree of commercialization varies from region to region. Rice is a commercial crop in Punjab and Haryana, but in Odisha it is a subsistence crop. And these are also all these are the commercial crops which are having a high demand in the market, and this is how they will use other equipments for plugging the ground. Definition of commercial farming. Commercial farmers produce their crops to sell them in the marketplace. Commercial farming types includes mixed crops and livestock farming, ranching, dairying and large scale grain production. Plantation farming is a form of commercial farming, mainly practiced in less developed countries. So, the primary goal of commercial crops agriculture is to earn a profit. Food is grown in very large scales, often sold to food processing companies rather than direct